It's about caring about how you feel. It's about understanding that there are two aspects of you that are present all the while you are here in this physical body. And that the dominant non-physical aspect of you, that cork is floating, that energy is soaring, there is no resistance there. And that you simply cannot use something as your excuse to hold yourself in vibrational defiance of who you really are and feel good at the same time. It's just that simple. Oh, you get really good at explaining why you're doing it. I was betrayed, or I was misled, or I was misguided, or I made a mistake, or they made a mistake, or that's not the way I wanted, or on and on and on. We get it. There are things that you look at that aren't the way you want them to be. But we will never agree with you that any of them, no matter how big they seem to you, is a big enough excuse to separate you from you. Because that is sacrificing the you of you for some ridiculous contrast that will serve you anyway if you will let it. We're going to show you here today how that contrast that you dislike so much has an equivalent, what you do want side to it, that is serving you enormously well. And we want you to know that when you have released enough resistance or trained yourself into vibrational alignment with the new, improved version of you, from inside this vortex of creation, you'll look back on that contrast that made it all possible, and you'll love it. You'll say, bless you, lover, lover, other lover, other lover, other lover, other lover. Bless all yous lovers who have left me behind. Bless all you who cheated and lied. Bless all who stole from me, who robbed me of my virginity. Just that one. Bless you. Bless each and every one of you, because you were the catalyst for this. And now I'm here, I'm blessing you. But when I'm over here, I'm damning you. And we say, you can't have it both ways. The only reason that you're damning them to begin with is because they helped you become something that you're not letting yourself be. If you hadn't expanded big time, you'd not be suffering and you're not keeping up to speed. Do you get that? So you just got to come to the place that you're willing to appreciate all of them. But we would never, ever ask you to find appreciation for those rascals when you're standing outside your vortex. That is too much work. Get in your vortex. Get in your vortex. And to get in your vortex, you got to forget about the rascals. You got to find something else to focus upon. Something neutral. Something non-toxic. Something that's not an issue. Something that hasn't been hurting you. Something that you don't talk about on your online chat group. In other words, you got to chill and relax and release, meditate and breathe and walk and ski and surf and bask and sunbathe and relax and sing and love and laugh and nurture yourself and eat good stuff and find better and better feeling thoughts and practice them until they become the norm. And then everything that life has caused you to become must manifest into your experience. And we know that in this physical body, in this lifetime, and not so far from now, it is our knowing that this is possible for you. You can reach the place where the contrast that touches you, which causes the improved rocket to launch, that the time span between your launching of that rocket and your receiving of the manifestational, full-blown, full life, vivid, see it, smell it, hear it, taste it, touch it, version of it will be instantaneous. In other words, you can get so good at achieving vibrational alignment with who you are that your problem and solution will occur to you simultaneously. You occasionally have that experience. Do you know it? Not one of you said, I will go forth into the physical and I will sacrifice my joy for the sake of expansion. Not one of you said that. You said, I'll go forth into the physical and I'll have joyous expansion. That was the version you were telling. So what's happened is you're here and you're having and causing incredible expansion. And we think it's time for it to be joyful expansion for you. And haven't you noticed about your own personal experience? Don't you just love it when you decide to do something and then do it? Isn't there something so delicious about identifying something that you would like to be or do or have and then accomplishing it? Don't you just love filling in that space? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the expansion that is steady and rampant in your individual and collective experiences. And we have passionate, powerful desire that you are able to see yourself into alignment with that. The only difference worth mentioning between you as you abide here in your physical body and your inner being who dwells in this non-physical vortex of creation, the only difference worth mentioning between the physical you and the non-physical you is that the non-physical you has trained itself vibrationally to the point that there is no resistance present in the energy that would be discernible by you. Now, we qualified that just a bit because there's contrast in everything, and there are two sides to every wave. We're just telling you that the non-physical wave doesn't have the dips and swings in it that the physical wave does. That's why we label you leading edge. You're sifting through greater contrast, but as a result of that, you're coming to bigger conclusions. You're making more happen through the life that you're living. Now, we come forth to visit with you because you've summoned us in your wanting to understand how all of this works. Not because you need to know what we're going to talk about here today in order for this continuum of eternal life to continue to progress perfectly. It will do that whether you know what you're going to come to know today or not. In other words, you're going to sift through contrast because you can't help it. And you're going to know what you don't want because you can't help it. And you're going to give birth to rockets of desire about what you would prefer because you can't help that. In other words, these are the natural consequences of sifting through contrast in a leading edge environment. All of that is going to take place whether you understand what we're going to talk about here today or not. But the difference that this conversation can make for you is that if you can get a handle on your understanding of how this creation works, and more important, of what your job of creation really is, if we can help you to understand, to know that you are sifting through contrast and causing an expanded version of you, and that expanded version of you stands in a vibrational frequency in this vortex of creation, if you can hear that, if you can know that, then for the first time in your life, you're going to know why you have emotions. Because your emotions, every single one of them, are indicators that let you know how aligned you are with this further expanded most version of you, or how misaligned you are, how much allowing you've got going on, or how much resistance you've got going on. This life is causing you and us to expand. But the difference between you and us is that when your life causes that expansion, we take it immediately. We hold the vibrational frequency of it because we've practiced the higher, less resistant frequencies, and it is natural and easy for us to do that. You, dear hearts, however, have not practiced the higher frequencies. You often beat the drum of what's gone wrong. You probe and poke at that problem in a justifiable attitude for way, way longer than is necessary and way, way longer than is helpful. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So during the time that we are together here today, we want to help you to understand, accept, and really enjoy remembering that you are more than the physical body that you know as you, that there is another part of you that is viable and alive and vibrational. We want you to understand that you have the glorious experience of sifting through variety for the purpose of coming to new conclusions about how your life would be better. And when that happens, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, you then have the option of aligning with what you're asking for, or of continuing to align with the reason that you ask. If you ask for an improved condition, but you keep beating the drum of the reason that you want the improved condition, you hold yourself vibrationally apart from what you've asked for. So we've been talking to you for a while, and some of you have been listening to us for a while about this powerful law of attraction, which in very simple terms says you get what you think about. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself vibrationally is drawn to it. It's like radio signals. When you set your tuner at 98.7 FM, you hear from that broadcasting station. You don't hear from another broadcasting station. So when you set your tuner at I'm in a bad mood because this bad thing has happened, you've set a tuner that makes it only possible for law of attraction to yield to you things that match that. So we've then been explaining to you that that's not a bad thing, because knowing what you don't want causes you to know what you do want. An equivalent bounce to that wave then occurs. In other words, when you really know what you don't want, you really know what you do want. But the thing that we want to remind you of is, when you really know what you don't want and really know what you don't want, and therefore there is a part of you that now really knows what you do want, if you've been beating the drum of really knowing what you don't want, you've trained yourself into that frequency, and it's not easy for you to let go of it and begin thinking about what you do want. But the larger part of you is only thinking about what you do want. Esther was watching television the other day and saw something that was disturbing to her, and it wasn't surprising that it was disturbing to her, because it was disturbing to the presenters who were presenting it. In other words, they were stirring up trouble with it, and they managed to stir up some trouble in Esther about it. Some psychologists were presenting some pictures to children and asking them which is the bad child. And there were children with very dark skin, and then less dark, and then less dark, and then less dark, and until finally light-skinned children. And what this study showed was that almost all children, regardless of what color their skin was, pointed right away to the dark skin as the bad child and the light skin as the good child. And Esther's first discomfort with the presentation was she really didn't like the way the question was being asked. It was, the children are accustomed to being given multiple choices, and so if the question is, which of these is bad, there was no option for none of the above, which many of them would have selected if they had been given the option, but it wasn't the way it was set up. It was, which of these is bad? And then, as Esther thought more and more and more about it, she got more and more riled about it, as it irritated her that even in being subjected to this type of questioning, it can affect the way someone perceives something. In other words, it could be helping them to form an opinion. But then, as Esther began to ponder this further, she wanted to make her own study. In other words, she began conjuring pictures to show not just to children, but to adults or people of all ages, a picture of someone studying, maybe with a diploma in their hand, and a picture of someone windsurfing. And the question is, which behavior is more appropriate? And Esther is quite certain that even though, if the question were, which would you rather do? There would be many who would say, I'd rather be on that skateboard. I'd rather be windsurfing. I'd rather be doing that fun-looking activity. But if the question is, which of these is more appropriate in terms of the well-being or your financial well-being of your physical experience, now people would, from their programmed point of view, say, that one, I should be studying. And when you think about it, you could set up these questions endlessly. In other words, which is best, which is best, which is most appropriate. And the thing that is so interesting and a bit